Hey all, here are OS Reviews. Today we're taking a closer look at the SHAKS S5b. This is a wireless Bluetooth gaming controller for smartphones, as well as working for Windows, iOS, Stadia, and even gaming consoles if you connect it using Bluetooth. And it can expand to pop in the phone on the middle section if you are using it like this. And then obviously if you don't have a phone in there, you can just use it in a more compact form, like a regular controller when using it for PC. Claims have been made in collaboration with Qualcomm in terms of the wireless connectivity using Bluetooth to minimize the latency to ensure that you're getting the fastest response possible. And they also have a companion app called Game Hub that you can download to further optimize the layout when you're gaming on your phone, and also has some firmware updates that can be pushed along. The battery here will last for up to 8 hours on a single charge, and there is also a haptic vibration motor, so it will kind of buzz to give you an extra sensation when in certain games. And of course, it would compete with other models from brands like iPega, GameSir, Razer as well. And then inside we have actually a carrying pouch for the controller, which is a very nice accessory that they give you to protect it when you're on the go, along with a standard USB Type-C charging cable, as well as a quick user guide that tells you how to quickly access the various layouts, and a QR code to download the companion app, which is currently for Android only at the moment. Another interesting function on this controller is that actually they give you a accessory that you can pop onto the four-way navigation D-pad to transform it into a 360 style. So they really give you quite a lot of options in terms of the layout that you like the most. Everything is very tactile and responsive, keys do feel quite precise, and everything does feel pretty clicky and nice to press on. Otherwise, the frame of the controller is made out of a polycarbonate plastic, although it kind of looks like metal, but that's similar to the other controllers we've seen just to make it a bit more lightweight when you're holding it. You can also toggle onto the different systems that you're trying to pair it to get the optimized connection. The bottom section here is soft touch rubber, which makes it very grippy and comfortable to hold, pretty ergonomic. Top here features just a Type-C port for charging. Then on the rear we do have a Qualcomm collaboration logo, and there is some divots so that when you're holding the controller like this, it still feels very comfortable on your hands. Finally, on the bottom here, there is also a Bluetooth pairing button that you can press on for the first time to get it into that pairing mode. And of course, you can also extend it just by applying a bit of pressure, and that will fully extend to hold pretty much any modern smartphone in here. Even larger phablets will hold without really any problems. There's also the SHAKS logo in the middle there. And voila, here's what it looks like, by the way, with a phone attached. And overall, it feels pretty solid in terms of not really wiggling around, even though it's a larger phone. And here's a look at the side profile, as you can see there, holding the device really without too much problems. It's basically as simple as just pairing it with Bluetooth, and then you're just ready to go. Let's just go ahead and jump into a game here. This one that has a collection of retro titles, and we can immediately begin playing along. As you can see there, moving along the cursor, everything has been properly mapped and working pretty much out of the box. A key here to jump. Everything does feel, for the most part, pretty responsive. Now I can also tap on the function key here once, by the way, to jump into a mouse mode. So what this will do is basically bring up a virtual cursor, as you can see there, that will fly across the screen. So for instance, maybe if you're trying to press on a really small link, or if you're for some reason going into the web browser maybe and you don't want to use the touchscreen of your phone at all, you can also jump into this virtual cursor mode and also go back into the D-pad mode just by tapping on function once again. If anything, just note that the other keys, including the A, B, X, and Y, aren't backlit, but that's pretty similar to the GameSir controller that we saw from a while back. Any emulators that you may want to run on your phone, basically everything will be pretty comfortable and definitely playable just using the keys. As we can see here, moving along, everything works just fine, pretty responsive in terms of our actions, and nothing really is causing any delays or problems as we are playing along, and everything again remains comfortable on the controller. It's not too heavy, and equally there's nothing stopping you from using it on more modern titles as well. Really any more modern Android games, including PUBG, Asphalt, anything really that you can just turn into more of a better experience by using the D-pad. In most cases, it will be just recognized automatically out of the box, which is awesome in the Android mode, just by properly tapping on the correct operating system when you're pairing it. Of course, one of the benefits of having a Bluetooth connection here is it's going to be universal with any device that has Bluetooth and gives it more versatility as a result. And again, working along just fine. There's plenty of games on Android these days that are also going to work really well. You are also able to map kind of virtual buttons as well, depending on the game that you're playing. So if you want to, for example, tap on a region of the screen to always correspond to a button, you can map custom virtual buttons to different keys using the companion app. So it is handled quite well, especially if you have a phone that is using a Qualcomm processor, because again, the optimization here has been done by Qualcomm. Here is the companion app that you can find for Android devices, how long you want it to go to sleep after an activity of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 30 minutes to save on power, the approximate percentage of the battery is left, the LED brightness of the top here, it's basically telling you if it's turned on or off, and then other things like if you want to change even the name of the gamepad. Quick launch shortcuts can also be turned on to quickly take you into, instead of the mouse mode that you saw there, to jump into the camera very quickly or open up a certain app. And here's also a test of the gamepad to know if it's working correctly or not in terms of the keys that you're pressing. So they will light up to tell you the D-pad, down, up, left, and right has been pressed correctly, and even the directional parts can also be recognized, like a sideways slant, as you can see there. You can also test out the other things as well to see if it's been properly recognized, and the various angles and degrees of pressure that you're exerting is all pretty precise, as you can see there. The nibs here are all been coated with soft touch rubber, so it does feel quite good in terms of not sticking. You can also hear the haptic vibration motor being tested. If I press on the other side, the left and the right sides, and it does feel quite good in terms of the precision there. There's a separate tab, mapping, that's for adding the virtual controls for individual games. It looks like you can actually connect to multiple gamepads as well, up to 3 based on, it looks like Bluetooth 5.0. So if you're trying to do a multiplayer game session, you can actually connect another one to the same device and then try to game with a friend. So that's more or less it as far as our hands-on review of the SHAKS S5b slash S5i. They're actually both really the same model, just sold in slightly different regions. And it really is a nice alternative to some of the other mobile controllers that we've seen. Overall, this is one of the better Bluetooth mobile controllers I've seen, I would say. And the collaboration with Qualcomm does mean that you are getting something that's a little bit more optimized, at least for Qualcomm chipset powered smartphones. If you're using it with some cloud gaming services like Stadia or xCloud, that will also depend on how fast of an internet connection you have. But as a whole, surprisingly usable for a wireless controller, I'd say, thanks to the latest Bluetooth and optimization that they built on in. So very good overall if you're looking for a controller that can kind of transform your phone into a mini handheld console, but at the same time can still act as a regular controller for even PCs and consoles. This might be worth a closer look. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews. That's been the SHAKS S5b.